where I'm going to load the system image. And that I'm going to connect to wherever I can connect it to. We'll see. It'll tell me. Fast boot devices will tell me. I think that's safe. And I think because I've got this like USB fan out dongle job, then I think I can actually connect them all to the same Raspberry Pi without doing too much damage. So let's do it. Fast boot 0. And it stops and waits there. And then the instructions say, connect your USB cable to connect your Linux computer to the USB data port named OTG on the dead board. So I have a USB-C cable handy, and I have a supercomputer right here, and I can plug that in there, and then I can plug this into the Raspberry Pi. Without hopefully unplugging anything. And the light came on here. No, that light may have been on already, I don't know. Yeah, the light was on already. Now, is this recognizable on the Raspberry Pi? Well, let's go find out. Okay. I'm just gonna be root because why not? Yes, I have a device, and Fastboot identified it. Yay, stream is back! Awesome! Alright, so I have a Fastboot device that it recognized, and now I want to download and flash the system image. So it says execute the following. wget some long thing. And there it is. So I would use my Teletype for this, but first of all, my Teletype's now connected to the U-boot of this thing. It's not connected to the Raspberry Pi at all, really. And then secondly, all the repaint would make it take forever. Okay, my internet is kind of slow. It's going to take forever. I am just going to leave this for a little while, because 20 minutes is quite a long time. Well, let's leave it for a bit and see what happens. 20 minutes is ages, and it's already like 8:30 at night Eastern time. We've been going for an hour and a half. And, yeah, let's read the instructions. If in doubt, read the manual. So, for use from ASR33, you can wget-q to suppress the verbosity. Yes. I'm training myself to use the quiet flag at every occasion. Like, all the git commands especially. So here it says, we download this enormous thing, and then we unzip it, and then we run this flash.sh that talks to the fastboot to upload it. And then it says it starts the flashing process, and you'll see various pieces of output. And log back in, switch back to the serial console to watch the process. Takes 5 minutes to complete, and then it reboots. So, yeah, I guess it is a gigabyte or so over a home connection that I'm streaming upstream with Twitch. So, let me see. Yeah, we have to just entertain ourselves for a little while. think I'm going to go entertain myself and make myself a cup of tea. And tell me if anything, tweet me if anything happens. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. And in the meantime, we can see this thing and it'll occasionally update. Jeopardy theme music. Back in a few. Back here in the land of everything, and I get to blame Comcast, of course, because they're a convenient thing to blame, and I also get to blame Netflix because that's what else is using my bandwidth right now. But I did manage to do this. I guess I can turn the terminal off. It says 4 minutes and a half to go. Necessary companion, a cup of Japanese sencha, green tea, and it looks very green, and it'll probably keep me up all night. Anyway, so I'm some little way into this, but not a very big way into this. It says 750 something megs, downloading at 2 megs a second. Not quick, not super quick. But it's funny, I mean, this thing runs at 10 bytes per second, so I shouldn't really complain about anything that's much faster than that. 10 bytes per second is plenty for me. If I wanted to load this disk image from paper tape at 10 bytes per second, it would take about 100 years, I'm guessing. Some vast quantity. So I'm fascinated with this boot console thing, like the serial console. When I log into this, logging into the Raspberry Pi, I haven't been using a serial console. As a console, I've never seen the boot messages from the Raspberry Pi. Instead, all that I've seen is the login prompt from the Getty. So I've configured the Raspberry Pi to give me a Getty on the USB serial port so that when the Getty finds a terminal there, it'll present a login prompt, and then I go log in, and then but the console happens before that, and all of this U-boot stuff, there's no Getty there. It's like U-boot is sending it to what it thinks is the system console, and in a way that's like the default console device. And so here, for the first time, I am actually connected to like console 0 of a machine, but the machine isn't even running Unix at this stage, it's just running the bootloader, and I think that's really cool, because I'm bootstrapping this little machine from the ground up, and then I'll load a Unix image on it, a Linux Debian Mendel image on it, and then I'll load my applications on it, and then I'll start writing things that actually use the TPU. I mean, I hope. Part of the reason to do this TPU thing is, I mean, what's it good for? It's great for classification, machine learning type tasks, and object identification, classification, etc. I think it's probably really good for some audio tasks, but I'm not sure yet what they are. I think I want to have it do ASCII art, because I've done a whole thing with ASCII art of like very procedurally trying to match images and regions of a graphic onto like what's the appropriate set of overstrike characters to print, and that's great. Oh, here we are. Let's see what this thing says. It says unzip that. Okay, so let's unzip all of that. Yeah. ASCII art. I mean, the Teletype is kind of unique because it has this overstrike printing, and by overstriking you can get a decent like rendition of shades of grey at fairly high resolution. I mean, sub character pixel, and yet this is all real procedural. The way that I did this was I printed out all of the combinations of overstrike characters and then scanned them and then looked at luminance and then built a big map, and then I just kind of look up the luminance, but I do orientation stuff as well, so you can see like these slashes here are in the right direction, so you have kind of a sub-pixel resolution. But I want to do machine learning version of this, and I don't know how yet, but it's a classification problem, and since it's a classification problem, I think the Edge TPU might actually be ideal for it if I can figure out how to write the code. So we'll see. That's maybe my goal. So now this is extracting, this is unzipping on this crazy slow Raspberry Pi. It's a 2011.12 Raspberry Pi, and I'm worried about running out of disk space because I just have a slow SD card connected to it with a few gigs of storage. But let's see how it goes, and then we'll CD into that directory and run flash.sh, which is what it says here, and it says it'll present me with a login prompt at the terminal. I mean, it's literally where it should end up. So I'm hopeful, but it's going to be slow. Everything's slow. And when we're done, it'll be super fast. But it's not done yet. It's still unzipping this gigabyte of stuff. At least it's faster to unzip it than to download it off the net. So I guess that's something. Yeah. So anyway, the serial console got me a boot, and now I've got to flash a real OS image onto it. And this is a huge adventure, and it's really quite fun. And then it says log in, you'll be on the build's terminal. I'll get a random host name. Then I need to connect to the internet from my new local host. And to do that, I'll have to tell it how to connect to the Wi-Fi. But this assumes that I get Linux running on the machine. And I'm a little way from that yet. I'm still unzipping the flash image. So, we'll see how it goes. Let's look at the hardware again. The hardware is, now it's lit up. The fan's running, which I'm a little surprised about. I mean, nothing is running on the machine, and other than the bootloader is just waiting for fast boot. So there's no CPU. Yeah, this... Let's hold it over here where it's in range of the camera. So this is audio, I think, headphones. This is loudspeaker. This is Ethernet. This is USB. This is the serial console that I'm connected to the Teletype. This is GPIO, just like a Raspberry Pi. Here's my fan. Then my thumb is on the HDMI. Then we've got USB and power. And I guess separate power because it takes 3 amps or 2.5 amps of DC. So yeah, quite a nice little machine. And the other form factor that this comes in is I think it's a USB accelerator, which is basically just the TPU piece of it. Not even the whole module, but just the HTPU, not the CPU that's inside there. But then you can attach that to a Raspberry Pi. And I guess the idea here is you can prototype with this whole thing, and then you could actually go into production with this TPU module on its own. You can you don't need the heatsink if you're going to do passive cooling on it. But that system on module that's like 2 inches by 2 and a bit is intended for production, not just for dev eval. So that's kind of cute, I think. It's a nice little model. What's going on here? Can I connect to the Raspberry Pi? It's called ASCII. That's a little bit confusing. Can I connect to my Raspberry Pi? Or have I just lost my connection? If I'd completely lost the connection, it would tell me, surely. What is going on? My Raspberry Pi is not responding. It's been unzipping for days. What do you think, anybody? If anybody's not completely bored with the stream, and what do you think? What are we going to do? Let me know. I think I want to just wait. But this is a little worrying. I can't even SSH to the Raspberry Pi from my Mac. Oh, I can! Why so slow? Maybe like it's... I mean, unzipping this thing, how big could it be? It could be 8 gigs. Crap. It actually could. It could be that the image is... going to fill my disk. Yeah, I have not much CPU going on. Oh no, I have some, but it's running on zip. That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to fill up the disk. It's just going to fail. Oh, that's annoying. Huh. Oh, that is a little bit sad. It's literally just going to fill my disk and fail in about 10 seconds. I don't have a lot of wasted space on this thing. It's just a Raspberry Pi with an SD card in it. Well, there's another alternative, which is to flash it from the Mac. Because this will fail, for sure. Just in case this thing fails. Did I download this thing already? Can I unzip the one image directly to stand it out and use DD to write it to the correct card? I don't think I can, because there's this, well, maybe I can, but there's this shell script, the flash.sh, that's going to use fast boot, and I don't know anything about fast boot. I assume, yeah, it's actually just... Alright. Oh no. Let's go there. And come on. They didn't make flash.sh executable, so they say bash flash.sh. Okay. Are you serious? Okay. What did it say? It says request blah was not queued to epin bulk. Whatever that means. It means that something is happening on fast boot. And then with this thing here, it says OK. And it says then failed. Protocol error. It failed with a protocol error. Command write failed. No partition map available for an EMCC of size. Wow. Flashing failed. Ha! Okay. Well. It says you'll see various output. Yeah. Okay. How about we start over by unplugging the power and plugging the power back in and just trying once more. I don't know if that's going to do anything. My serial console is not showing the right thing. My serial console didn't even kind of apparently reset. This thing is... No. I think I'm stuck. I need to go back to the drawing board. I may need to like reflash, because this in the instructions it does tell you what to do if if you get a login prompt and you reflash, and it does tell you what to do if it is not working right. So you can update or see how to flash from U-boot on an SD card. Oh, that might be interesting, because I can certainly get myself an SD card with the system image on it. That's easy. So maybe that's what I need to do. But come on. Update, flash a new system image. Flash from U-boot. You can boot into U-boot from an image on the SD card and reflash the board. Unplug the dev board, change the boot mode switches to boot from SD, flash an SD card with the recovery image to flash that onto the micro SD, connect to the serial console, and do all of this jumping through hoops to get my console back again with screen, and power on the board. Well, I could do that. But I'm not going to do it tonight. I've been online for a couple hours. I need to go eat some food or something. Alright. Thus ends today's adventure with the Teletype Model 33 and supercomputer running U-boot at least. I broke it. I broke everything. Let's at least kind of reset so that that I'm going to plug out. I'm going to unplug the umbilical cords for the edge board. I'm going to even power... No, I'm not going to power it off. I'm just going to reset this thing so that it's back and not running screen anymore. The way that I'm going to do that is... How am I going to do that? I could like physically restart the interface card, but is screen still running? It's gotta be, right? No, screen's not running. TTY-ACM0 is not running. Wow, my Raspberry Pi doesn't have the terminal anymore. Okay, well that broke then, didn't it? Let's restart the Raspberry Pi machine and let's see whether it boots back up to the terminal. And if it boots back up to the terminal, then I can do things like flashing an image onto SD, and I'll probably do that with the Mac though. If it doesn't boot up to the terminal, no, I just disconnected everything. I kind of broken everything. Patience, patience. Okay, there we are. It is. Today's the day. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun as I did. It didn't altogether pan out, but these things never do. So next time we'll do some more. In the meantime, hit me up on Twitter. Tell your friends. Whatever. Buy stuff from my Etsy store. And thanks for tuning in. Look forward to chatting with y'all, and I'll see you next time.